total number of appellations in Burgundy is often misinterpreted. Although there are around 700 individually named vineyards, the total number of appellations is 84 according to France's AOC laws. From the basic regional level appellation all the way to the Grand Cru, these appellations guarantee the quality of wine produced in Burgundy. 84 appellations is still a lot to remember, however. Even though each appellation shows a unique expression of Burgundy's terroir, getting familiar with the most prestigious is the best place to start. Starting in Burgundy's north with the sub-region of the Côte de Nuits, we find the village and appellation of Geoffrey Shamaton. Located just 12 kilometers south of Dijon and one of the oldest vineyard sites in Burgundy, Geoffrey Chamaton's vineyards date back almost 2,000 years to Gallo-Roman times. This incredible appellation is home to some of the most sought-after wines in the world, all of which are made from Pinot Noir. It has 9 Grand Cru vineyards, more than any other village in Burgundy. The suffix in the name Geoffrey Shamaton actually originates from one of these Grand Cru vineyards, Le Chambertin, a naming trend which was first seen here in 1847 but is now replicated all over Burgundy. Geoffrey Shamaton wines are often defined by a deep, full colour, concentrated nose of red berries, plum and earthy aromas. They are usually medium to full-bodied with great structure and a long finish. Travelling just a few kilometres south in the Côte de Nuits, we reach Chambol-Musigny, a small but very special village. Like Geoffrey Shamaton, the town of Chambol added the name of its most famous vineyard, Le Musigny, to the village's name in 1882. With a population of less than 500 people, this tiny village has around 20 wine producers, all of which maintain a close relationship to ensure the prestige of this appellation. A more delicate style of Pinot Noir, Chambol-Musigny wines are typically a bright ruby colour with red fruit, spice and pretty floral aromas. The wine has an elegant structure thanks to a well-defined minerality and a beautiful long finish. Moving to the Côte de Beaune, we find the town and appellation of Beaune and the centre of Burgundy's wine trade. With over 20,000 inhabitants, Beaune is a beautiful town of cobbled streets and winding roads, with many of Burgundy's largest négociants based here. Beaune also boasts the famous Hospice de Beaune, a 15th century hospital which is one of the most well-preserved examples of French Renaissance architecture. It now hosts the most famous wine auction in the world on the third Sunday of each November, where many bottles sell for tens of thousands of pounds. Although the Côte de Beaune sub-region is known primarily for its world-class white wines, the Beaune appellation produces primarily red. There are no Grand Cru vineyards, but there are a number of incredible Premier Crus which produce a wide variety of beautifully well-balanced red wines that make a great introduction to red Burgundy. These wines usually show some pure black fruit and floral aromas enhanced with spices and earthy notes. They're medium to full-bodied with red berries and a linear mineral finish.
So how do Beaune Reds differ from other villages?
Beaune is an incredible patchwork of different places. It's quite vast. You have the north of the village, which compares more to the Côte de Nuits, more masculine. We have this vineyard in Beaune-Marconnais, where we produce some very powerful wine, and the last, again, they have a big structure. Then, if you go further south, you have a Beaune Grève. The Grève means sand, so it's a more feminine, precocious terroir. We pick the grapes earlier, and the wines are more tender. And then you have the Beaune Teuron, which is more south, where you have a combination of the two. So it's masculine and feminine at the same time. So you have all these different subtle variations, which make it very complex and very intriguing. And we have about 35 different Premier Cru in Beaune. So it gives you the diversity. You can make 35 different wines in a circle of a few kilometers around where we are now.
When it comes to Chardonnay, one of the most famous appellations in the whole of Burgundy is Myrrh. At the southern end of the Côte de Beaune, this large village borders both Puligny and Chassagne-Montrachet, which make the most expensive white wines in the world. Producing almost 100% Chardonnay, Myrrh doesn't boast any Grand Cru, but lays claim to a few prestigious Premier Cru. Where this appellation really comes into its own, however, is its village wines, where you can find incredible value for money. Myrrh wines show toasty aromas of nectarine, peach and hazelnut. The palate is rich, nutty and can have a real intensity to the fruit. The finish is long with a lovely balanced acidity. Heading all the way down to the sub-region of the Mâconnais, we find another well-known appellation, Pouilly-Fuissé. Located in the commune of Fouissé, the wines here are exclusively Chardonnay. Pouilly-Fouissé has captured the hearts of many international consumers due to its reputation for producing richer and softer wines than the northern subregions of Burgundy. As with the whole of the Mâconnais subregion, there are no Premier or Grand Cru vineyards here. However, a recent movement aims to classify around 22% of their vineyards to Premier Cru level. The light golden colour of Pouilly-Fouissé wines reflect the warmer southern climate of Burgundy. The wines show concentrated citrus and honeycomb aromas, and on the palate they have a lovely weighted intensity with baked apples and honey flavours. These wines tend to have a rich but delicate finish. These 5 appellations are a great introduction to Burgundy, with many other names to also look out for. Burgundy is the global benchmark for both Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and getting to know these famous names will help you navigate this wonderful region.